SMT Nation, we back. Nation, we've got a development coming out of Verizon. We know that they just had a bunch of executive changes. There was like lateral movement, there was vertical integration, there's exiting with the management team. There's changes happening at Verizon. This one actually is probably good that they're changing it. I just don't know if they're going to change it in the right way. Okay, so let me give you guys the news update, and then I'll give you my take on the story. All right, the article will be in the description for the story from fiercewireless.com. Additionally, there's also a link in the description for the real SMT Buy Me a Coffee link. If you want to support your creators, that's definitely one way you could do it. Also, if you're looking for a good deal on wireless service, you can check out our partner. That link is in the description. Use that partner link. You'll be getting a good deal on wireless and supporting the channel in the process. All right, so for today's article, Verizon revisiting the compensation model with the consumer group. All right, folks, so the way this breaks down is pretty simple. Verizon is going to be shifting how it operates, how they pay their retail employees, retail managers, store managers, all the people on the front line that sell the Verizon service. One of the things that has happened recently, and this was, I think, a few years ago, there was a shift in the compensation structure at Verizon, and it cascaded throughout the company's retail space. The best sellers at Verizon, right, those retail employees, left. Those great sellers, those retail stars, were cooking with gas and were awarded handsomely for being great sellers. When Verizon changed the structure, a lot of people left the company, or they took the severance packages for whatever, early retirement, or closing out with the company, right? What that left was a lot of disgruntled retail employees who stayed, and then a bunch of new employees, maybe not as skilled or experienced, and because of the structure, created a lot of turnover, which means you have a lack of experience. You never keep your employees long term. This has been happening at Verizon for a few years now. So with this particular statement coming from, Ellis, who's the Verizon CFO, who's going to be leaving very soon, he said they're going to bring a new focus to detail, talking about the consumer business during 2023. They're going to be looking at a regional promotional offerings approach rather than a centralized, nationwide approach to Verizon sales tactics. Me personally, I disagree with the sales tactics. This is going to just be taking locations, specific regions within the company to be competitive, and in other ones being less competitive. That may seem like it's the more, to improve margins or be more profitable or whatever. The problem with that is you can't nationally advertise your deals. Therefore, people don't have a national perspective on Verizon's competitive nature. I think in and of itself, this approach is flawed. Seeing that your retail space appears to be less competitive compared to T-Mobile and AT&T, who aggressively promote their deals and do so on a national scale. So now with the new CEO of the Verizon Consumer Group, Sampath, who was previously the CEO of Verizon Business Group, if this is going to be his approach, well, what really has changed? These same like regional and, pick your spot type of deals, push and pull and offer it and then pull it away, that has been going on for the last year, and it has shown in 2022 to be Verizon's worst year ever. So I have major concerns about this and its effectiveness. I don't think this is going to work. The fact that it's not national, the fact that it is only regional, indicates it's 1 foot in and 1 foot out. To me, this really doesn't sound or look like much of a change at all. And then some more disclosures from Ellis, the CFO, talking about the potential and what they're going to be doing with Total by Verizon and the TracFone brands and that integration process. He's saying that you're going to see the strategy take shape in the second half of 2023. Well, that's a wait and see. We have no idea. They didn't tell us their approach. They didn't tell us about any more updates to the integration and, how they plan on being more competitive. And we don't see anything, in that's being transparently presented or offered. And then he went on to talk more about the C-band deployment in the 5G network, which is irrelevant to the retail space, which sounds more like More like a deflection, I guess. Nobody's questioning the network. They're questioning the ability to operate competitively in retail. Okay, so my takeaway is pretty simple. This, again, sounds like more of the same at Verizon. You can move and shift and transfer and change all that, but if you don't actually change the operations, you could say this is back to the basics. We're going to go back to what made Verizon competitive and what made them the top carrier in the country. You're simply changing people. You're simply changing the names of the programs, right? Internally and externally, giving something a name or whatever. But you're not operating any different. I don't expect anything to change in 2023. I don't expect retail to change in terms of the structure unless we get disclosures that they are reverting back to the old commission structures, the old retail bonus and commission structures that the company used to thrive in and the retail employees thrived in, and it made them happy to work at Verizon, inspired to sell, and motivated to sell. Those words, inspiration, motivated, driven, nobody would use those words to describe Verizon retail over the last few years. Those words that predates anything compared to recent history. So unless they do that, I don't think much is going to change. I think this is just some lip service. And of course, this is coming from a guy who's exiting the company. Sour, probably going to be a sour exit too. I can almost guarantee you he's politely being shown the door. Let's just call a spade a spade. This is what happened to Tammy Irwin. This is the same thing that happened to Ronan Dunn. Manon unceremoniously gone within less than a calendar year. The same people who have been, gone through these types of things. I don't like this at all. I think this is a nothing burger. Tell me if you guys think I'm wrong. Tell me if you think I'm right. Give me a rationale. Tell me why. I'd love to hear what you have to say on this. You all the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard. Like, share, and subscribe for more. Turn on the bell notification icon to never miss an upload. Links in the description for all things going on with the channel. Big shout out to my members here on YouTube and my patrons over on Patreon for making content on this channel possible. Y'all the goats. To everybody who's ever bought me a coffee, I appreciate you so very much. Thank you for supporting. That link is in the description. The real SMT Buy Me a Coffee link. And of course, if you're looking for a good deal on wireless, you can get that from Mint Mobile, our partner. That link is in the description. All right, when you use it, it helps out the channel. All right, folks, thanks for watching. Have a great rest of the day. We shall see you all on the next video. Peace.